how do we differentiate and not say anything insulting like, sorry, you chose the wrong company?
Yeah, we're never going to go down that road. And when we leave the net outcome statement, and again, the net outcome statement is the net outcome that they'll receive when they work with you. So when somebody says, hey, we'll work with other vendors, your net outcome statement is, hey, I will be here when you need a vendor that's going to provide better service, right? Because every vendor is going to say that. Your net outcome statement is, no problem, sounds good. I will be here when you need a vendor that's going to make sure that each and every employee gets moved, that we're not adding extra stress, and you don't end up losing a good percentage of your top performers because of either the difficulty of the move or the perceived difficulty of the relocation causing them to go work for somebody else. Fair enough? I just pulled that out of my butt. But if I was in moving offices and I was already working with a vendor and somebody else that I'm not even working with just brings up, wait a minute, he's right. People quit because of the perceived. It's more than just the move itself. It's, do I perceive this as a pain in the butt, right? And just working with a vendor that doesn't understand that, that could be the tipping point for an employee to not only leave my company, but where the hell are they going to go? My competitor, right? So I'm planting that seed with the net outcome statement. No problem. I will be here when you need to work with a vendor that's going to make absolutely positively sure that all of your employees take as much stress off this as possible, and you're not losing employees either due to stress because of the move or that perceived stress of an upcoming relocation causing them to leave, or worse, go work for one of your competitors. Fair enough? Right now, you leave me with that, I'm going to really freak out, right? I'm going to walk into my HR office and be like, hey, we got to make sure we got everything buttoned down with this reload. Okay, so that's a good net outcome statement. You can probably make it a great one if you play around with it. Now, your question is, what's the cadence? My answer to you is this. We pulled that hand grenade, we threw it over the wall. We're not revisiting that, because at that point, now we're just throwing salt on the wound, right? Hey, I just wanted to check and see if you're losing any employees because of perceived. Now we're causing them to be defensive, right? We're causing them to defend their position because they said they were happy. Now they got to prove that they're happy. So what I'm going to do with my cadence is I'm going to let a good amount of time pass. Depending in your world, I don't know if you want to catch this reload. It might be 2 weeks if you want to catch the existing one. If you just want to grab these guys as an account and you've got other stuff you're working, I'd maybe wait 3 months. Okay, it just depends on your sense of urgency. If you're super, super urgent, you have to close this deal, you might want to work on your prospecting and fill your pipeline up. Because when somebody says we're all good, it shouldn't bother you one bit. If you have enough deals in your pipeline, you're like, cool, I'll be here when you need, bop, 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 bop. Okay, now what you're going to do in the cadence, you're not going to call them and remind them of the net outcome statement. You're going to call them with an insight. Okay, I learned this back. My dad, his name was Roy. Okay, my dad was a farmer. And if anybody else had a farmer for a dad, farmer dads invented no means no. Okay, and that meant, hey, Dad, can I use the International Scout to go to homecoming? No, right? And once my dad said no, I was screwed. I could be like, yo, I'm on fire. Okay, and he said no. Okay, so you need to bring new information to the table, like I'm on fire. The new information is, hey, there's something going on that everybody's doing, relocations is having to deal with right now as we approach the springtime. I just want to make sure you guys were aware of it, right? Well, no, Stacy, I told you we're working with somebody else. I totally get it. I just want to make sure you guys were aware of what was going on, right? And now provide insights to them. Keep doing that. Am I telling you to do that every day or every week? Absolutely not. That's a waste of your time. But if you do that 3 times a year, by the way, the incumbent, the person they're working with, ain't even trying to give them insights. You know what they're giving them? Invoices. There's a huge difference between an insight and an invoice. And 3 times a year, you're calling Dave Gaston going, man, I wanted to make sure you were aware of this. Worst case, Dave's going to go, yeah, absolutely. I was at the same conference you were at and we talked about it. We've got a plan for it. Good. Just want to make sure you guys had a plan for it. Awesome, Stacy. Yeah, thanks. And eventually they're going to go, man, that Stacy's a good dude, right? You don't have to solve cancer with your insights. You just have to show them that you're thinking about them, and you have to deliver an insight that's helpful for them, whether they do business with you or not, right? And that could be something as simple as, Typically, what we've seen is about 5% of employees don't go through the move. You can cut that number in half if you do these 3 things. I just want to make sure well, we're going to keep with our great, right? You might want to let your current company know about these 3 issues because these are big issues, okay? At the end of the day, yup, you might call somebody and give them some insights that they maybe never go with you, but they're like, man, that Stacy, he was good. That company's great. They had my best interest in mind. You'll be surprised how you can get that business. If you like this video, I got you. I'm going to hook you up. Click the link in my bio. I'm going to give you the closing mini masterclass. It's normally $300. I'm going to pay for everything. You're going to close a lot more business. You're going to make a lot more money. You're going to have a lot more fun. And you're going to be like, Matt Easton changed my life. And I'm going to be like, yes, I did. Did we just become best friends? And you're going to say, yes, we did. And then you and I are going to be best friends and it'll be great. So click the link in my bio so we can be friends and you can close more business and I'll cover all the cost. See you there.